Welcome to the channel. Painting the Patoot here with another tips video for new players. Three quick tips that I've put together for you, and hopefully they'll help you out. I know it's getting very late in the wipe, so you're probably running into lots of heavily armored chads. So I hope maybe this will help you a little bit with survival. One of the tips is not really so much about survival. It's about building guns quicker and easier method. So that first tip is about using presets that you can find at the bottom here. The next tip is going to be drop your bag, and you'll see what I mean by that once you see the tip. And the third tip is something I've spoken about before, but I thought I'd bring it up again to newer players, and that is flashlights. Use a flashlight early on. It'll somewhat level the playing field when you encounter somebody that's better than you. So get ready for the tips. All right, so the next tip I wanted to show you is how to use presets. And presets are a good thing that you can quickly build guns rather than sort of flopping around trying to find the parts and everything else. So if you go into presets, you'll find that the game already has a bunch of pre-built basic level guns, but let me go down and we'll do a G36 here. So you can see I've already created a couple of my own presets, which is what you can do at the end of this. But let's say I'm just going to pull up the stock G36. So there it is. Well, pretty unimpressive. Um, Not much sense just buying it like this because I can buy it online anyways. But what you'll see is if I go to the mod areas, it now shows me all the possible um, mods, and these aren't in my stash, these are in the game, but these are all the possible mods that I can use. So I grab this one. Look at the stock. The stock's only got 27, minus 27 recall. What other options? Oh, there's a better stock. It's got 32 in it. Okay. Um, this is using the standard G36 magazines, which I don't really want to do. I might as well use the mags that I have, so I'll just take this to none. And there is the NATO adaptive or adapter, and then I can just, again, these are all the mags in the game that'll fit right now. Pick one. Yeah. Or even it'll take the 40 rounders, so that's another option. Okay, so the problem with the gun as it sits is you can't put a foregrip to reduce recoil at all. So I'll just take that off there. I know how to do this, so that's why. Taking the gas block out. And then I take off this vent, 6, and I'm going to want to put in the 4-piece because it allows me to put a foregrip, but that means I have to go to a shorter barrel. So I'll go to the 318. Put the gas block back on. And now it's going to show me the only option, which is a 4-vent, but the 4-vent does have the ability to take a adapter, and then here's all the foregrips in the game. So all you have to do is pick one. So I'll pick this one. That's kind of an expensive one. I'll just put it in to show you what's what, because right up here you're getting your stat to your gun as I mod it. So as I float over, you can see there isn't really another um, foregrip that will do the same thing as this one. So that's the best. All right, so I'm going to put, it's giving me the option, put a slide on the side, and now I open it up, and there's all the devices that I could put on. I usually like a laser at least. Really, flashlight probably is a better option. I either go with a laser or flashlight, but flashlight for newer players, a flashlight is better because you can blind your opponent. All right, so then I have these options of all the mods that will fit on this gun that are in the game. Alien Tech's not too bad. Minus 12, minus 40. You'll get a minor decrease using that, but of course it'll take a silencer, which again decreases it. So I've built myself, oh, I should put on, again, here's all the sighting devices that I can choose in the game, and doing here? Duh. That's my favorite. Okay, so now I've got a gun built, and I would like to probably use this gun over and over again. So save it, give it a name, save it, and it'll appear in that list. I've already got two, and one of them is this gun, so I don't need to create another one. So then what next? Okay, I've built this lovely gun. I need to get it. So then you go on to find parts. It's going to say save changes. So now here's the list of the parts in the game that I have selected. Note that some of these are in USD because they're coming from Peacekeepers, so you got to make sure you have enough USD to build it. But there it is. It is everything that I need to build that gun that I was just showing you. That's going to be how much it's going to cost me. So then I don't really need to buy the EOTech because I have some in stock. I don't really need that foregrip because I have it in stock. So I'm doing this to reduce the price a little bit. I'm pretty sure I've got flashlights, so I don't need that. And that's probably the mag. I got mags. I'm not going to buy the mag. So that's taken me down quite a bit in price to make it a little cheaper to buy. Purchase all. It's telling me how much money I need to do, and there you go. So, okay, what does that mean? Well, go back now to, I'm going to select the base gun that it's going to for the preset when I save it. Okay. Back, yeah, this is just the changes to the preset that I have, but I've already bought the stuff, so now I'm back here. And there's the gun and all the parts. So I still have to go through the process of modding it, but I got all the parts, except for the one, some of it comes on. So I still have to go and, I don't know why it's only partly built, but anyways. So these are the existing ones, so I didn't need to buy a new one. And here's the existing in my stock. So I didn't need to buy that. It's already put the 4-vent on, so I put this on. And I already have a couple of foregrips that'll do it, so that's why I didn't buy. I'm going here, and I'm putting here, and then the other thing is this, and then I already had a laser in there. So this is just taking stuff out of my stock, but there's my gun. So I've already got one built. The good part is that all this excess bits and bobs off my mod can be sold to try to make back some of the cash that I just lost in building the gun. But that's a very easy way of just being able to quickly buy, not really buy, but make guns just by using the presets. And there's presets in there for every type, and like I said, you can pick the presets that you want to use and go ahead and use them. But this comes in handy if you're maybe doing a task and you're running out of time to complete the task, if it's a weekly or a daily or something. So you're under pressure to get it done quickly, and rather than screwing around, wasting time trying to build a gun, you can use the presets to get it very quickly. So hopefully that is of some benefit to you, but there it is. The tip is building guns using presets. Thanks. All right, so here is another tip for you, and this one is called drop the bag. So what I'm talking about is dropping your backpack in certain circumstances. So why would you want to drop your backpack? It's got a lot of lovely stuff in it. Well, in the game, your movement is dictated by your weight. So if you try to climb on top of something, your ability to climb will be determined partially by how heavy you are. So you want to be able to climb on something, drop your backpack. Another part is damage, and this becomes when you jump over, you can see your character, and the more things that you put into your backpack, the heavier you are. It also takes into account everything in your rig, etc. But the heavier you are, when you jump over the edge here, and I'm going to do that, there is the potential that you will do more damage to yourself if you're heavy. So what you need to do is jump up and go to your backpack and discard it, and it drops it over the edge, and now you can drop. And you still see I took a little bit of damage, and that's just because of the weight of the armor, etc., and what I had on it. But if I had to jump over there, and I'm only using a small backpack for this demonstration, if I went over with a full backpack, I probably would have broken my legs. So that is, and you can always then just pick it up. Okay, so that is two of the reasons that you get rid of a backpack. And you'll see good players doing it because they know these things. So when you're trying to climb up into something, it will allow you to climb better without the excess weight of your backpack. And if you're just coming down a rock face, jumping over an edge, jumping off the roof, you'll often see the good players will drop their backpack first because they're trying to lighten their load so that they can go down that rock face safer. So that's the big thing about your backpack. Its weight. All right, so why else do they drop it? Well, you'll see them dropping their backpack when they're going into combat. Why? Well, your weight will influence your ability to move. You'll notice here that if I drop the backpack, my character weight drops. The heavier your character is, the slower, not so much slower you are, but it affects your stamina size. So if you look over on the right under the sort of silhouette of my character, you can see right now that my stamina is pretty much up to the top of the bar. And that's because I'm running with a very light backpack. But if you get a big backpack and you fill it to the brim, you'll actually notice that bar will get shorter and shorter and shorter. And if you overload your character too much, and that is easy to be done early in the game when you haven't got your strength skill built up. Like my skills, I'm up to 17 in endurance and 29 in strength, just about to go to 30. Earlier in the game, you're not going to have that strength bar, so your stamina here in the bottom left corner of the thing, the two blue bars, your stamina is going to be consumed a lot quicker when you're heavier. So what's that got to do with the backpack? Well, if you're in a fight with somebody, movement makes the difference between surviving and not surviving in a lot of cases. So anything that's going to impact your ability to move, you want to get rid of it. So that's why you'll see players, good players, when they're about to go into a fight, or if they're going into a building or something where they anticipate a fight, they'll drop their backpack. So in this case, on this road, if I'm going to go to the power station, there's a good possibility I'm going to be either fighting scavs or players. So come back over here into an area that you know not many people are going to come into, and just dump your backpack. And now I can go fight. I'm at a lower weight, so my movements will be quicker. I can jump higher. I can run farther and faster. And it makes a big difference. And then once I'm done, I come back and get my backpack. The other thing with dumping your backpack here, if nothing else, is if you have it insured and somebody kills you, you at least might get the backpack back, but at least you deny your murderer or your the guy that killed you. You deny him what was in your backpack. So that's a good middle finger to that kind of thing. And then the other thing about the backpack in combat is, again, I'm running the Beirut, which is a pretty small backpack. But I've played guys that have the big backpacks, and I played the guys, and the backpack got them killed both times. because they had a massive backpack. So I'm fighting one guy, and he goes over into the bush and hides to heal, or at least wait for me to come along. But his backpack was sticking out to the top of the bush. So I just sat there and I dumped the mag into the center of the bush. I couldn't even see him other than the top of his backpack. And then the other part you'll get is people will go prone, and they're trying to get away or sneak up on you or whatever, but they got this huge backpack on their back, and you you can see the backpack going through the grass. So again, you just aim at the backpack and let them have it. So that's the other thing, the size of the backpack. That's why you'll see good players. They take a big backpack in so they can get all the goodies. But first thing that they ever do is they'll drop it as soon as they get into a fight. So that's the other reason to drop the backpack. And then the final is, and I don't think this one has it. Yeah, okay. This doesn't have much in the way of effect on my character because it's a low-end backpack. But you do see that it's -2 on my ergonomics. So just, I'm going to disconnect from this. This is just a test run. Not fighting anybody or anything, just to show you this. But you'll see that individual backpacks have a detrimental effect on your movement. And once I get out of here, I'll go and I'll show you on some of the backpacks I have in my stash. I'll just take a minute here. But yeah, it's the backpacks themselves can affect your movement. So that's the other reason to drop the backpack. So we come here. There's a big backpack. So let me inspect it, and there you see movement speed -4% movement speed, turn speed -2% turn speed, -6 ergonomics, right? So this backpack has just ergonomics, but a big backpack is going to affect you. And let's have a look at this. Movement speed, ergonomics, turn speed. Like that is a smaller backpack, and yet it has almost as bad as specs. Well, movement speed is different, but turn speed is worse than the bigger bag. Same ergonomics hit. Um, but yeah, each bag's got its own characteristics, including its weight. Now, this will be with stuff in them, but the bags themselves have weight, which will add to your total character weight. So, you know, that's what you're trying to do. You're dropping the bag when you go into combat to, one, reduce the weight of your character, two, reduce the silhouette of your character so you're harder to be seen, and three, remove any negative movement um, penalties, I'm going to call it, from the backpack, which would, again, this would be tougher to fight with this backpack on your bag, especially if it's full and weighing your character down. So a lot of people don't understand how much a backpack is making it you die more because you get killed because you can't move as fast as somebody who's dropped his backpack. And like I said, watch some of the really good streamers, and you'll see the first thing that they do when they know they're going to be in a fight is they will drop their backpack. Again, drop it in some bush someplace, some out of the way room that maybe people don't go into, drop it over the edge, and then go fight. Drop it where you're going to be able to find it again. Drop it into a bush. Just know the bush. But you can always come back and get it, and you deny whatever is in that backpack to your opponent if they manage to kill you. And then, of course, the other one is a lighter character allows you to climb better. A lighter character allows you to descend by jumping down cliff faces. Um, it will decrease your chance of damage, increase your chance to being able to climb up. So that's this tip. Drop the bag. Okay, so this tip is kind of talked about it before, but I thought I would put it in here because this is something more appropriate to newbies and other people, new players, and that is try to always equip your gun with a flashlight. Um, it I know it's kind of sounds silly, but it is pretty OP right now in the game. There isn't a lot of things you can do other than using your own flashlight. But there isn't much in the game that you can do to combat a flashlight. So, for example, here, if I go into the modding, this Scar I've put the Clash 2U on it, and it's one of the better flashlights. They will have a penalty towards ergonomics in most cases, so you can maybe pick a flashlight that doesn't do it to -2. But what you're looking for is you use the T if you use a default key binding in the game to turn the flashlight on and off. So this is what you do with it. You point it at the players. So if you hear a player coming and he's close to you, sure, it's going to give away that you're there as well. But if he's coming for you, he probably knows you're there. But hit the T, turn the flashlight on, and point it at him. And you'll see a big difference in your survival rate in a lot of cases. Maybe not the really good players because they know that you just shoot it more or less. Because it's mounted to the gun, if you shoot at the brightest part of the bloom that the flashlight puts out, you're going to be shooting at the gun, which is typically held by the person. They don't hold it way out to the side or anything. But if you run into other players that aren't too skilled necessarily, they may be above you in a level, but you blind the other player, and it's something that you'll see a lot of people do. Um, Even good players will run with a flashlight. So it's not hard. You just need a mount in most of the guns. This one has a mount built into it. This G, if I mod the G, it does not have a mount. I would have to purchase a mount, but it goes on the side of the gun here. So I quickly go here and just put in G36. And what am I looking for? Side. Take that off. Side handrail. There we go. Got the rail. So pretty well most of the guns will allow you to put something to mount. So there's the some guns will just take it naturally, and some you'll have to put on this little side rail. So if I do that, and then I go here to Skier, and he's got lots of flashlights. Even at level 1, he's got well, he only has the laser, so you might have to go level 2 there. At level 2, he's got flashlights. So you pick something like this. This one's only got a -1 ergonomics feel on it, so you buy this flashlight, and then you can put it on pretty well any gun. So let me just find it here. There we go. So again, there it is, blinded by the light. Okay, so that is the third tip is run with a flashlight. You run with it off most of the time, but if you get, it helps you, even if you're doing a night map, it helps you to have a flashlight because you can look around and see things and maybe see a player that's hiding in the bushes. But you run around with it off, and then when you get close to combat, if you hear gunfight, yes, it's going to give away, but in most cases, the other person already kind of knows where you are, and you turn it on, and then you point it at them while you're shooting at them, and you'll be surprised on how it raises your survivability in a lot of gunfights, even with guys that are um, levels and levels above you, even with guys that have better guns than you. There is, like I said, the flashlights are OP. There is no really good counter of a flashlight other than to have your own flashlight and point it at somebody. Okay, so that's the tip number. I think it's going to be number 3, which is flashlight.